I had barely finished unloading the last box when a woman in a visor, heels sinking into my gravel driveway, stomped toward me waving a clipboard like it was a badge. No hello, no welcome to the neighborhood, just a sharp jab of her finger toward the lake behind my house. "That dock," she snapped, "is not yours to use. It falls under HOA jurisdiction." I looked at her, then at the dock my realtor had shown me 10 times, complete with a deed, a title report, and years of maintenance records. "I think you're mistaken," I said calmly. "It came with the property." She scoffed like I'd just insulted her designer sunglasses. "We'll see about that," she said, scribbling something on her clipboard. "You'll be hearing from us." Less than 24 hours in this house, and I was already being threatened over something I legally owned. That night, I did what any normal guy would do. I sat out on the dock with a beer, watching the sun set over the water. For a moment, I thought maybe that woman was just bluffing. Maybe she was all talk. But then, the next morning, I woke up to orange cones blocking off my dock's entrance. A freshly laminated sign zip-tied to the gate read, "Access restricted, pending HOA Waterway Safety Review." No permit number, no official seal, just a shaky signature at the bottom that read, "Chairwoman Barbara, HOA Enforcement Lead." That same woman. She wasn't bluffing. I took a deep breath, pulled out my phone, and started recording. Because if they wanted to fight over this dock, they picked the wrong guy. I wasn't just some new neighbor. I was the appointed Waterway Supervisor for the entire county. And Barbara, she was about to learn what a real jurisdictional boundary looked like.
I didn't go storming into the HOA office or start yelling in the cul-de-sac like she probably expected. Instead, I took my phone, pulled up the county water access records, and printed every single page tied to this lake, highlighting Section 12B, the part that clearly listed me as the overseeing supervisor for public and private shoreline usage. But I wasn't going to flash my badge just yet. No, I wanted to see how far they were willing to go. At around 2:30 p.m., a white golf cart pulled into my driveway like it belonged there. Sitting behind the wheel? Barbara again, this time with two men in polos who looked like they'd been promised power and free lemonade. One held a measuring wheel, the other had a flimsy plastic level. "We're here for the dock inspection," Barbara said, arms crossed, smug like she was filming an HGTV takedown special. "You bring a permit for this inspection?" I asked, holding back a grin. "No need," she sniffed. "The HOA operates under community interest protocols. We can act without owner consent." One of the polo guys added, "Just routine, won't take long, unless we find a violation." And there it was, the threat, wrapped in politeness. I leaned against the post, watching them measure the distance from the dock to the waterline, mumbling about flood risk and structural stability. I didn't say a word, just let them finish. As they packed up, Barbara smiled and said, "You'll be getting a notice. The dock's out of compliance. It needs to be removed." "Oh, really?" I replied, slow and calm. "Mind leaving that in writing?" She didn't even hesitate, handed me a citation slip she'd printed herself, signed with her fake title, HOA Waterfront Compliance Director. I folded the paper neatly and nodded. "Great. I'll forward this to the county and the state, actually, just to loop them in." That wiped the smile off her face. I could see the confusion settle in. She thought she had just bullied another clueless homeowner. But I wasn't done yet, because tomorrow morning I was bringing officials with me, and Barbara had no idea her little HOA empire was sitting on a pile of violations she would have to answer for. By 9 a.m. the next morning, a county truck pulled up outside my place, logo on the side, 2 inspectors inside, and clipboards that actually meant something. I didn't need to explain much. Once they saw the photos I'd taken, the forged signage, and Barbara's fake citation, both men just exchanged a look and said, yeah, this is going to be a problem. We walked down to the dock together. The cones were still there, the sign still flapping in the breeze like it had any legal weight. One of the inspectors snapped a picture of it and muttered, "This is impersonation of a regulatory authority." Right then, Barbara's golf cart came cruising back. Same smug face, this time wearing a bright orange vest like she was about to redirect traffic. "Oh," she said when she saw the inspectors. "You must be from HOA Regional Enforcement. Good, I was just about to call a formal meeting." The older inspector looked at her like she'd grown a second head. "We're from the County Waterways Department, ma'am, and we're here because of a citizen complaint filed by the current supervisor of this water zone." Barbara blinked. "What? Who?" I stepped forward. "That'd be me." Her face dropped. She opened her mouth to say something, but nothing came out. Not a single word. She just looked between me and the clipboard in the inspector's hands like someone had switched the script. And it was about to get worse. The inspector held up the forged citation she'd given me. "Did you sign this?" Barbara's voice turned paper thin. "Well, yes, but it's just the standard HOA form." "No, ma'am, it isn't. It includes legal enforcement language, official-sounding codes, and falsely implies government jurisdiction." She tried to laugh it off. "We just wanted to make sure the dock was safe, that's all." "You zip-tied a fake order to a private structure. That's a misdemeanor, maybe more depending on intent." She started backpedaling fast. "I didn't mean anything illegal. We just have high standards in this community. The dock didn't look secure." I leaned in just slightly and said, "Barbara, you just tried to evict a county official from his own dock." The silence after that was beautiful. But I wasn't here for a mic drop. I was here to dig deeper because I had a feeling this wasn't the only line she'd crossed. And I was absolutely right. Later that afternoon, I took a drive around the neighborhood. Not out of curiosity, more like instinct. Something about the way Barbara carried herself told me this wasn't her first time throwing around fake authority. And I was right. 3 houses down, I saw the same cones, same fake inspection notice taped to an elderly man's fence. He sat on his porch looking confused, a stack of papers on his lap. "Excuse me," I said, walking up. "Did the HOA give you those?" He nodded slowly. "Said my shed was too close to the water line, but it's been there since the 80s. They want it torn down." I looked at the notice. Same font, same fake codes, same bold signature. Chairwoman Barbara. That's when it clicked. Barbara wasn't just power tripping. She was running her own mini regime, using made-up rules to scare people into submission. And from the way this man looked, tired, uncertain, it had been working. But it was about to stop. I spent the rest of the evening gathering proof. I took photos of every bogus notice I found, recorded statements from 3 neighbors who'd been cited. One woman even said Barbara threatened to fine her $500 a day if she didn't move her canoe. Then came the real twist. While flipping through old HOA newsletters on the community website, I found something buried deep, an amendment vote from 3 years ago. It gave the HOA limited authority over common use areas. The catch? The dock zone wasn't one of them. In fact, it was explicitly marked as private shoreline, governed by county rules only. Barbara knew that. She had signed the amendment herself. She wasn't just overstepping, she was deliberately targeting new homeowners, seniors, and anyone too afraid to push back. That night, I uploaded everything: photos, documents, video clips, into a neat little folder labeled HOA Abuse Formal County Review. And then I sent it off. I didn't know what would happen next, not exactly, but I knew this. Barbara had just poked the wrong bear, and now the whole system she built on fake power was about to collapse.